everybody. It's Lisa and Lynn.
It's Lisa and Lynn. Woo! We are ready to jumpstart your day.
Absolutely. It's a great Thursday.
It is a wonderful Thursday.
It is, absolutely.
And you can have some big stuff coming up this weekend, which
I do.
I am going to be walking. Did you see?
I did see that. That's awesome. Yeah. So our family has a foundation in memory of my husband. We raise money for scholarships for. He was a track coach, so that's all based on that. So we give scholarships to kids that are pursuing athletics, that are track athletes in high school, that are going on and competing in college in some manner. They don't have to compete in track.
They're going on to college.
They're going on to college, right. So our mission is success starts with a chance. We had so many people over the years tell us that he really gave me that chance. You know, if I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for him. So that's where we're giving these kids a second chance. So kids that may not have, thought about this or, need that extra push to make that commitment to go to the next level or just pursuing something outside the box for them and that's uncomfortable and they need that little extra. So we're providing scholarships. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So we have our big event this weekend.
There's a 5K. I'll be walking.
Thank you. Most people walk. It's a run.
I told her, I'm like, I am not running. Just so you know, I'm not a runner, but I will walk.
And then he was a golfer. So this year we've added a larger golf event.
Oh my gosh, I love what Lynn John Designs did for your
little medals for the runners. Yes,
that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
He did that last year too. So
did he?
Pretty neat. Yeah.
That's it. So if you want to sign up, if you happen to be in the area or visiting town, you can go to your website and it has a link to then take you to the
exactly. Event. So we can actually link it on the comments.
Oh, we will do that. That'd be perfect.
On the comments,
Yeah, so it'd be fun to see you out if you want to golf, and you kind of want people to sign up by tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow really is the cutoff
deadline
because we need to get the information to the clubhouse and to the guy running the race
and everything like that.
Yep.
And if you're a student and you're an athlete, make sure you look because you can apply.
You can apply. Yep. So in January, look for the link from our website for the application to apply for that scholarship.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Very cool.
You're a very cool person.
Oh, thanks.
So look for our link. We'll remind you at the end as well.
Yep, absolutely. So Lisa, what's new in lending, or what's the buzzword?
The buzzwords. There's buzzwords like low rates. Rates are low. I heard rates are low. I heard the feds are lowering the rate.
Right.
That's kind of, and then, people are like, I'm like, what's your rate? You have
exactly.
What's your rate?
What's your rate? Yes, everybody's rates are different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that Travelocity. There's a new Trivago ad about, well, I booked the last room. No, I booked the last room. Well, I booked the last room. So everybody's rate's different. So everybody's rate can be different for mortgages
they can, because there's so many things that when you got that rate.
Right.
There's a lot of things that go into that rate, so it can be different. But sometimes people I know right now are just like, oh, I refinanced at this rate. Oh, I've got this rate, right? And everybody's. And sometimes it really doesn't make sense to have the lowest rate, in all honesty, but it's a little bit of a buzzword.
It is, yeah.
Stuff like that. So I thought that we should talk about, because within your rate, somebody says, oh, I have a 2.875 rate. Well, they probably don't have a 30-year.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? So there's different reasons that you have a different rate. Plus, typically, there's a lot of in-betweens here, but you typically either have a 30-year, you could have a 40-year, 30-year, 20-year, or a 15-year on a fixed rate. We're kind of talking fixed rates today.
Yeah.
But you could do that.
Okay.
So,
all right. So yeah, because you're right. There's a lot of factors that go into determining this, which determines your rate and all that. So obviously, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Yeah. So let's talk about if you're on a 30-year fixed.
Yeah. So let's just talk about, so if you're looking to refinance, so some people are currently at a 30-year fixed. Well, last year, about November, October of last year, we had a lot of people purchasing homes. We were busy last year at that time. And interest rates were kind of almost a percentage higher than they are right now.
They had ooched up last year.
They ooched. Yes, they ooched.
They ooched.
That's an official term.
Yes.
So they went up, and so right now we have a lot of people looking, and so then you can say, hey, is it worth it for me to go stay in a 30-year, maybe take it to a 29-year so you don't lose out on a year, should I do a 20-year or a 15-year? So we're going to talk a little bit about what those
look like. Okay.
So we're going to assume, so I just did this simple, that you have a $200,000 mortgage, pretty common, so that's your loan amount on your mortgage, and we're going to do it at an 80% loan to value just for today, so I didn't have to mess with mortgage insurance or no mortgage insurance. So
Okay,
that's making it
perfect.
easy on me.
All right. Awesome.
So we're gonna assume that you have a 760 credit score,
Okay.
okay? So then these are just rates change every day, blah, 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 right? Your loan officers are gonna give you all the same spiel. So
Yeah.
just based upon, so say you have, we get you in at a 3.75% 30-year rate, which then, so your APR, because I'm doing this legally here, so your APR would be around 3.8, okay? APR. So if you have that, so we're just working with your principal and interest because taxes and everything can be different, whether you bought a $400,000 house and you have a $200,000 mortgage,
Right.
or you bought a $250,000 house. Your tax,
Gotcha.
all that's going to be different. So on this then, your payment, principal and interest would be $296 just to even it up, okay? So on a 20-year, typically it's about an 8 better interest rate, okay? So and then your APR is like 3.7.
Right.
On these rates, we're just not buying down any points to get to those interest rates, okay?
Gotcha.
So on a 20-year, your principal and interest payment is $1,173.
Okay.
Okay? Now we're gonna scooch over by Lynn over here.
Ooch.
So we're gonna set ooch in. So you have a 3%, 3.1 APR. Oops, forgot the P. Yeah. So then your payment on that 200,000 would be right around $1,382.
Okay.
So you've got, right, your interest rate goes down,
right, but your payment goes up.
but your payment goes
Yeah,
up.
but your years go down.
But
So
your years go
yeah,
down.
right. So
if you had to guess, how many, maybe you can throw this out.
yeah.
How much interest do you think you might pay over 30 years?
Oh gosh, I don't even want to know. I mean, that's one of those when you're closing, it shows you what interest you pay if you. Oh, that's a scary number. So how much interest will you pay?
Yeah. So on a 30-year, and this is one of those things, like a lot of people, and I will tell you, most people do a 30-year mortgage.
Yeah.
Just because there's flexibility, it's the lowest payment. Sometimes you don't know what life holds for you.
Yep.
So
it's a budgeting thing.
it's
That's
a
just easier
budgeting thing.
to budget. Yeah.
Yep, but you're gonna pay about $133,400 in interest
over a 30-year period for a $200,000 home.
Yeah. So this is purely the interest that you're paying over that time.
Yep. The cost of borrowing money.
The cost of borrowing money.
Yeah.
So, but as you're refinancing, maybe you've been into it a year or two.
Yep.
Maybe your interest rate was, maybe you're at a 5% interest rate, and your payment was really kind of around here,
Anyway,
right?
yeah.
And so you're like, instead of saving, so there's about a $247 difference between those two.
But then what would your interest be on that?
So then your interest would be around 81,400.
Okay.
Right?
Right. So yeah, you're right. Because if you're paying a higher interest rate on that 30-year and you're already paying a little bit more,
right?
You might be.
It might really benefit you.
It might benefit you in the long run. So that really would be a question to ask: is how would this work for me?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you've been in this 30-year for a couple of years or whatever, and you're like, oh my gosh, instead of saving necessarily per month,
right,
your payment could maybe stay the same, around the same, but yet you're saving this.
Ooh, $50,000.
Yeah. $50,000.
That'd be awesome.
You're saving that in interest.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
We sure are.
So then on a 15-year, on the same thing, your total interest over the life of that loan is about $48,600.
Wow.
So then the difference, I know I got a lot going on here, but the difference in your payment there is about $455. So sometimes too, people have been in it for a while and they're like, you know what? I had a raise, right? My income is different. Some people are single when they bought. Now they're married. They're living in a dual income situation now. And they're like, actually a $1,300 mortgage payment, which is going to be higher than that because you got to add in your taxes and insurance and stuff.
Absolutely.
But they're like, I actually feel comfortable with this.
Mhm.
And there's a huge difference.
Yep, over the long run, that's huge.
over the
But
long
yeah,
run.
obviously, this has got to work for you. So if you still
Yes.
have 3 kids in daycare, maybe
Yeah,
that
3 kids in
payment's
daycare. This one works really great.
really great, yes. But once they get out of daycare or whatever expense, and you're
Yeah.
looking at, I've got a few years in down the road, we can really lower that interest rate. Why not check it out and see if that's going to work for you?
Yeah,
it might be
because a lot of
beneficial for
people
you.
are sitting around 5%, 4.75%.
Okay. Yeah.
They're still sitting there. I will say that a lot of people, common things that people say are, oh my gosh, I don't want the hassle.
Right.
Or, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to provide you my pay stub, you know, I mean,
All
things
that
like
stuff. Yeah.
that. So sometimes, so a lot of technology has happened. So
Yes.
if you work for a different company, sometimes you don't have to, but if you're gonna save $200 a month,
Right.
so we kind of have this thing, $50 is for like minimum that you need to save.
Right.
Sometimes is that worth it? Depends upon where you're at. Sometimes budgeting $50 is a lot per month.
Right.
When you get to 100 to 200, that's a lot of money.
That's significant. Yeah. over
that
the
you're
course of
saving
the
per month.
loan,
And,
yeah.
and if you save $100 and then you put that back into your mortgage,
Mhm.
you have that. Or if
Yep.
you have credit card debt and you're taking that extra $100,
And paying that off.
paying off that credit
Mhm.
card.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that kind of can come in where if you're looking at your finances,
Mhm.
that can kind of be a really big deal to get
That's
you
huge.
to a position that you would like to be in. So
Right. Right. There's a lot of math there, Lisa.
there it is. And I hope I know if you can read it all and all that kind of stuff. But
exactly. But no, that's great information, because that interest rate that you paid for last year or
Mhm.
whatever that was,
Mhm.
if there's at least, would you say like a point difference or even a
It
half a
doesn't have to be a
point?
point. It depends on your loan amount.
Okay, all right.
Because, you know, if you have a $100,000 mortgage,
Right.
sometimes a point even, it's like, does it get you to, you know, where you're
Right.
saving enough money,
Okay.
depending where your rate, you know,
Mhm.
it just depends. When you start getting in the 200 and up, it can be less than a point.
Okay.
That
All right.
can, I mean, half a point, 3/4, depends how long you've been in it. So your loan officer will tell you, they should go
Mhm.
through with you so you feel good about it, what your options are, how much you're saving, what the cost of refinancing is.
Okay.
There's a lot of lenders that say, oh, well, we'll actually give you a 4% interest rate and then you'll have no closing costs.
Okay.
You just have to feel comfortable and know they raised your rate to give
Right.
you no closing costs.
Right.
So are you okay with that? Or
Mhm.
which one gives you the better? Somebody should be walking you through those
Right.
options.
Right. Exactly. Because you want to make sure that at the end,
Yes.
you are getting the result that you were hoping to when you first started this process.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Right.
So I'd say if you have any questions,
Just
all you have
holler
to
out.
do is holler out, and
Yeah.
those scenarios are pretty easy to run and see, even if it on a very high level, if it makes sense for you.
Yep.
And then if it makes like, yeah, I think that might make sense,
Mhm.
then it's taking it down and getting more into those nitty gritty of those numbers to see if it works. And if you currently have a VA loan,
Mhm.
a USDA loan, or a FHA loan,
Mm-hmm.
you should be looking at what your options are for refinancing.
Okay.
Because
Great.
those particular government programs
Mhm.
have really awesome streamlined abilities, especially the VA and FHA, just streamlining things.
Oh, really?
No pay stubs, no appraisal, no all those things
For a refinance.
for a refinance.
That's
If
great
if
tip.
you take it in, if you just do if you do a VA to a VA or a FHA to an FHA.
Perfect.
But it's
Perfect.
so worth it.
Great. That's awesome. Well, we hope you learned a little bit here on the refinancing information, and hopefully it will benefit you. If you have any questions, reach out to us. And we're going to link the sign up for our Coach Lynn Memorial Run here on the comments. So
Yeah.
everybody have a great weekend.
So if you come out, make sure you tell us, say, hey,
Yeah, hey, we're here. So anyway, everybody have a great weekend.